Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Windmill, and welcome to a brand new episode of Uniquely Generic. If you don't know how this show works, well, the long and short of it is I'm going to pick 5 random games, and I'm basically going to judge them by their title. That's it. If that makes sense to you, then let's get started. Today we're doing 5 GameCube games again. Enjoy! Alright, so our first game for today is a game I'm not super familiar with. I played it a little bit and it's okay. It's Medal of Honor Frontline. Now, I'm just gonna be honest, I really hadn't played any other Medal of Honor games. I wasn't really into those type of games when I was a kid, and by the time I was old enough to appreciate those games, they were pretty much non-existent. There weren't that many Medal of Honor games that I'm aware of. But the title Medal of Honor is good. It's unique and it gives you a good idea what kind of game you're getting into. You kind of have a decent idea that it's going to be some kind of military shooter, which I knew that. I knew what a Medal of Honor was back then. And the subtitle Frontline is pretty good too. It all rolls off the tongue pretty well. Now, if I knew more about the history of the franchise, I might be able to judge it a little bit more on whether or not it's a generic title among the Medal of Honor series. I really don't. I'm just randomly judging these titles. I literally don't do any research beforehand, so these games just pop up. And I record my thoughts. That's what these videos are. But yeah, we're gonna call this one good, but I'm kind of iffy on whether or not it's unique or generic. I almost want to say it's generic just to be safe, but one way or the other, it's a good title. So we're gonna move on before I start rambling again. Okay, game number 2 is Mega Man Network Transmission. Now, if you've ever heard of the Battle Network series, this game is basically just a spin-off of that is more like a traditional Mega Man game. So it's pretty good. It's sort of a cross between a normal Mega Man game and like an RPG, which makes sense because the Battle Network series is an RPG, and it's not a bad one either. Now, this title, I don't really like it. It's too long, and network transmission, I don't know, it doesn't say anything to me. It just seems kind of like words they picked to sound computery and cybery. Battle Network actually sounds cool and rolls off the tongue. Network transmission does not. And most Mega Man games have pretty good titles, where they just use numbers. There is a lot of different series of Mega Man though, so we'll probably run into him again soon. Anyway, it's definitely unique, but I wouldn't call it good. Now, I did try to think of a better title for it, and unfortunately I could not. Sorry. But we're gonna move on to game number 3.
Soul Calibur 2.
A pretty good title. And for the most part, the Soul Calibur games have kept up the scheme of having numbers. Although I think the first Soul Calibur quote-unquote game was called something else. Was it called Soul Blade? Like I said, I don't do research. It's a good title, it's a unique title, and it's a succinct title, and it's also generic at the same time just because it's got a number on it. But that's one of those weird conundrums where I like a title, and I like that it has the 2 on it, but the 2 makes it kind of generic. But I don't care, I like it anyway. Can't think of a better name for it, so we're just gonna move right along to game number 4. Alright, game number 4. We have Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. Now, I had to think about this one for a minute because I like it and it kind of rolls off the tongue pretty good, and it has alliteration too, but for some reason I think it's generic. It feels really generic to me and I'm not really sure why. Anyway, do I have a better name for this game? No. This is a pretty good game though, I will say that. I really enjoyed this game. So if you haven't played it, give it a shot. It's pretty good. But I gotta move on because I have one more game to talk about. And that game is Sonic Riders. Once again, we are seeing the Blue Hedgehog, and that's okay because there's a lot of Sonic games out there. And not only is Sonic Riders a decent racing game, I enjoyed it, the name Sonic Riders is cool. It rolls off the tongue, it's unique, and it just sounds fun. And I really can't think of a better name for it. I can think of some worse names for it, but I don't really feel like wasting brain power to do that. I wish the game had more stages. There's literally only 5 or 6 in the entire game, which sucks. But now I'm just rambling about the game and not the title. Anyway, I think we're going to end this short little video here. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. As always, take it easy, and I will see you next time.